I think this is not just a problem with India, that people have been taking offense and people are getting very negative and angry. It's happening all over the world, and particularly in the US. There has been an article recently in a major newspaper in the US asking as to why people are getting so offended and why people are getting so angry all the time. People are getting angry about everything. People don't like people looking at them, people don't like people commenting about them, people don't like others talking about their religion, about their faith, about anything, even in good sense, even if it's for mirth, laughter, for amusement, or even as a joke or a part of a comedy too. People seem to have lost the sense of humor completely. We all know that in the olden days, whether it's true or not is a different case altogether, but even very big kings used to have jesters in their courts, and these clowns used to make fun of the kings, and that was one of the way that these clowns also used to get the points across to the king or the ruler by way of putting it in a very, very comical manner, that the king would not be offended because it was all a joke, but ultimately the aspirations as well as the opinions of the people got across to the king, so that the king would be able to get the message. And nowadays you can't make a joke at all. You can't tell a joke, you can't have a comedy, you can't have a stand-up comedy, you can't just take anything but in the sense it is supposed to be intended in. That's a very complex matter, and it's getting very, very complicated by the day, that people are getting very worried as to what they can say, what they can't say, and how they're supposed to deal. For instance, recently I was listening to a conversation on Clubhouse, and this particular girl said something very offensive against a person because he just questioned her about something else. And there were so many of these young guys who are supposed to be in the age group of 18 to 24 or something like that. That's how they sounded. They went on to say publicly that if it's a girl who is saying something, that people have to listen to, and she has every right to offend. But you know, a girl cannot be offended. But we are talking about equality, and we are treating men and women equally, and both have the same right to express their feelings and opinions. And I think as human beings, that if you can't express yourself, if you can't put forth your ideas, if you can't be open about your thoughts, there is something fundamentally wrong. I think then people are expecting you to be like caged animals, to behave in a certain way, to be within the confines of a certain rules and regulations, and to act in a certain way that is expected to be in a certain way. And I think with that itself, you're denying the intellectual quotient in the society, in human beings, in individuals, that they can't express themselves at all. And if people are afraid of expressing, if people are afraid of listening to such an expression, if people start imagining things, for instance, if at all it's even a very, very offensive thing, who actually expects you to understand it in that way, to imagine it in that way, to give that extra boost to that idea, so that you ingrain it and you feel a physical response towards it, that you feel like going and bashing up that person or something like that. And that is completely your own doing. You don't have to respond like that. You could just laugh it off. Because sometimes, people could be using words in a very, very unintentional manner, because they may be intending to say something, but they may have actually used the wrong word, because everybody is not an expert in speaking. So taking offense is an absolute sign of immaturity and nothing else. See, this has happened to me when I was sometimes traveling in the bylanes of some of these parts in Europe, where you actually sometimes encounter rowdy elements, or they could also be antisocial, or could also be extremely racist, that they don't like you to be there, and they could be making comments about you, and they speak to you in that language which you don't even understand, and that could be expressions that could be extremely offending or insulting or downright profanity. But like even when you know that they've said something like that, and when you know that the others are laughing at you because they all seem to be enjoying at your expense, it doesn't hurt you because you're not understanding it. So the power of offense is only in somebody getting offended. So by getting offended, you're just validating the offense. If you behave like you're not even got the point, the person who tried to offend you has lost it. So I think it's in the maturity of the person who is receiving that offense to just, treat it like it's nothing at all. It's like almost saying that the person who is trying to offend is a silly, idiotic, senseless person who is just an antisocial, who is trying to enrage somebody, and you don't validate it, you don't authenticate it, you don't give life to it. So you just start making that person feel a sense of repudiation. That's how it should be. But it used to be so that, maunam sammati lakshanam, in the sense you're quiet about something, you don't respond, that means you accept it, you take it, you receive it, you have validated it. But let me tell you, I think, that's the kind of offense that people want to throw at people because, they don't want you to respond also. But I think that that used to be the case once upon a time when people used to offend used to be very few and far between. But nowadays you have everybody who is trying to offend. People could even talk about your religion. For instance, a lot of Hindus feel extremely offended when the others are talking about the plurality of the Hindu pantheon and, for instance, the multitude of gods that we have and some of the kinds of gods that we have and all that. And I don't think that we should be sitting and explaining to people or trying to defend our gods or whatever. I think the best thing would be to say is that, yes, my God is like that, and I like my God and I respect my God. And if you don't like, I can't make you, because perhaps, that's a different level of realization altogether that you may require for you to be able to see the godliness in our gods. So if you are trying to explain why Shiva is like this, why Vishnu is like this, why Hanuman is like that, why Vishnu did what he did in a certain case, and so on, there is no end to it all. You should actually spending your whole lifetime in trying to explain your gods and in trying to defend your gods. And I think that even if anybody tries to defend their gods, they are not at all defending gods, but they are trying to defend something that even is lower than a demigod, because a god is a god, and like in Christianity itself, you can't explain God and you can't understand the mysterious ways of gods, and God is not subject to human explanation, and humanity itself has been struggling with this idea of interpretation, standing of the universe and the world around it, and how would it be able to even explain God or defend God? I think that's a wasteful exercise. If people don't like your God, if they want to make fun of it, the very fact that so many Hindu gods have survived millennia of insult and assault, and still they are as valid as ever before, that itself shows that they're very valid as gods, and they don't need anybody's defense at all. And when you get offended, people certainly will talk about all that, and particularly when people are in a position to do that, they are in a bigger number, they have the position of power or influence or whatever, they will certainly try to do that. I'm not saying that you need to completely brush aside offense, but if some offense is dangerous, if it is causing harm, if it's causing damage, if it's hurting, if it is certainly, inviting or attracting harm to the people who are being offended, by getting them to go lower, by limiting their growth, by limiting their movement, by limiting their social activity, by limiting their expression. I think such things, there are already laws against them. I don't think that, somebody making a comment, somebody saying something backhanded, somebody who is just saying it for a joke or whatever, somebody even making fun. That way Christians could be offended by literally so many movies that have been brought out, that have been produced and shown to people, where people have even lampooned the Christian Trinity, or Jesus for that matter, or Mother Mary and so on. And if at all people were to be offended, the Christianity would have not been growing at all. Even now, a lot of Christians are extremely proud of being Christians, and they are unfazed by, sometimes most often, Christians themselves doing this. And that has nothing to do with your faith in God. I think if what you believe is beyond reproach, if it's beyond criticism, beyond offense, that's when it's actually truly valuable. It's like you have a gilded statue, like this gold coated statue. Nobody would want you to touch it, because the more you touch it, the clay beneath it or the metal beneath it would get exposed. But if it's 100% solid gold, or cannot have 100% solid gold, at least 22 karat solid gold statue, people don't even worry about people touching it, because they would only be worried about every time they touch it or rub it, they're only taking the gold away. But the originality or the goldenness of the statue is not brought down at all. Like sometimes a lot of people have been speaking nonsense too about Mahatma Gandhi, but I don't think that has lowered Mahatma Gandhi's stature in the eyes of the true intellectuals even one bit, because that is why he is Mahatma. You can criticize him as much as you want, and he still remains Mahatma, and that is why he is Mahatma. But if at all you criticize and somebody is Duratma the next day, Aparatma in some the next moment, and you have to really defend and build a story around him to make him a Mahatma, then he's not a Mahatma at all. So that's how it is about the whole thing about offense and defense.